And after you leave a like, remember to smash the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to my channel as yet. And remember to hit the notification bell so every time I post a video, you can know right away. Subscribe, 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 subscribe.
What's up, my YouTube friends, viewers, subscribers, everybody? Welcome back to another banger motivational video. And the topic for today is self-disclosure, which means telling people about you. I know. I'm here to talk about why you need to be careful about the information you give to others about you. Okay, with that being said, like, I'm not saying it's like a bad thing to not tell somebody about you. But the disadvantage that comes with this is when you tell a person so much about you, they know how to get to you. So things like this is what leads to betrayal, but I'm not here to talk about betrayal. So with that being said, is you gotta be careful with the information you give to people about yourself. Because when a person don't know nothing about you, I sort of think it's better for everybody. Like the less people know, the better it is. Like if a person don't know nothing about you, like how can they get to you if they don't know nothing about you? So you have to be very careful of the information you give. A lot of times people want to vent to others. Like sometimes things happen. Like people process things and they go through things in a different way, and some people like they can't keep it on the inside, especially women. They like to vent, but sometimes I think venting to people, telling people your problem, this is what leads to people coming back in the end and trying to destroy you. Because when something happens to you and you're sitting down telling somebody so much about you, oh, this happened there, this happened here. Bro, how many times have you ever seen two best friends turn enemies and then all of a sudden they're talking back and forth? That's because they know so much about themselves. So with that being said, is you have to be, unless this is like uh somebody you completely trust, then you could tell them things about yourself that like, I'm not saying like good things. Like people always talk about the good things, but like childhood uh trauma, like when bad things happen, like who do you talk to? Most people will talk to their parents and want to, because they don't trust nobody. You know what I mean? So you have to be very careful with what you say to people, because you can be entertaining the enemy and you don't even know. Most times, as soon as something happens, you call up somebody because you want to vent, and they're like, oh, this happened, blah 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 blah, and this person is going to use this information and use it against you. You ever wonder why people know exactly what to say? What, like, once you and them are no longer friends, they know exactly what to say to destroy you. You ever wonder where that came from? That's because of you. That's because you were going through a phase or something, and then you needed to vent, and you call this person, and then all of a sudden, this person sat down and processed your information. And then once a person get angry at you, then they want to hurt you. And then how can they hurt you? By having multiple information on you. See where I'm going here? Like it's better. Like we live in a world where it's better when nobody know nothing about you. It's it's so crazy because me, I'm the type of guy where I can have good conversation with people for hours and nothing is said about me. I don't know. It's like a gift. I would say it's like a gift because like I don't know. Like I can talk to people and not share things about myself to people. I don't know. It's a little bit weird. But you have to be very careful with what you say, because what you tell to somebody today will definitely, well, let's rephrase that. What you say to somebody today will probably affect you later down the line, depending on you guys' level of friendships or situations. Like I like if it's like your life partner or your parents, that you can tell them stuff about you. You know what I mean? When I say stuff, I do not mean like as soon as you get a job or you buy a car or something amazing is happening to you and you want to call up people. That's not what matters. What matters is your darkest hours. You ever notice people really talk about challenges that they survive? Like nobody's gonna talk about, oh, I did this for 5 years, and then this is the outcome. They're not going to talk about their struggles. Nobody talk about their struggles. So if you're a type of person and you talk about your struggles to somebody else and then you make it on the top, you ever notice they always try to shoot you back down? or they will say, "Oh, you think you're better than me," because they know. And I'm the type of person where I'm very good at reading people and analyzing things, but you can't really know like people's past. You can't really know. Like the only thing you can probably figure out is like how they make decisions. And then when you figure out how they make decisions, it's sort of easy to tell what decisions they probably make before they were this age, you know what I mean? But you can't really be too sure. But bro, you have to be very careful with what you say, because a friend today can be an enemy tomorrow. And people who try to destroy you are the ones that know you. They know things about you. They know how to get to you. They know how to irritate you. They know what makes you angry. They know what makes you frustrated. They know what makes you jealous. They know how to manipulate you. Why do you think they say, like, when you have a friend and then you guys are no longer friends, why do you think they know exactly what to say to get under your skin? You thought it was by a coincidence? No, it's not a coincidence. They know about you. And then if you say you did shoplifting or you did some bad stuff, that's what they're gonna talk about. And that's what they're gonna tell everybody. Bro, rumors are spread by fools. When nobody don't know nothing about you, they like the best they could do is make up stories. That's like not real. But you gotta be careful with what you say. And I know sometimes, when things are like when you're in a tight spot, you want to vent to people, but you have to be very careful with who you tell about you and all these different type of stuff, because people, like, we live in a world where people, you can literally help somebody today and you can guide them, and then you can share stuff about yourself, and then by next 2 3 years they're trying to take you down. It's crazy, bro. You ever wonder why people like will go to a bar and talk to strangers? You ever wonder why people will go to a park, to the mall, anywhere, and talk to strangers? That's because talking to strangers, like, you guys are having a good conversation, you can actually talk to them, but they don't really know you. And they know for a fact they're not going to hear it back. This is why people go places, and this is why they talk to strangers, because they know they're not going to hear it back. That's why they do it. Bro, I've had so many people vent to me and tell me stuff, even in high school. And I know for a fact some people just want to be heard, they just want to vent, but it's like you go through this here and it comes to the other one. But not everybody is like me. It's crazy because, like, I don't know. You got to be very careful in this generation what you say to people. It's better you I was about to say it's better you talk about your winnings, but even your winnings affect people. So your winnings affect people, and your darkest hour is what people use to get at you and try to destroy you. So with that being said, is it necessary to talk about yourself to somebody else? Like, you can come and you can talk about yourself. But if you have a good story and you overcome challenges and you're productive, the first thing people are gonna say, "Oh, this person didn't think they're better than me." But if you come and you have, "Oh, this happened when I was 9, and by the time I was 12, this happened. This happened when I was 7," and somebody else may sit down and be like, "Ooh, rough childhood." People are gonna judge you regardless. So you have to be very careful of, like, there's levels to things about us. Like, knowing somebody goes way beyond what's your name, what's your birthday, what's your favorite color, what's your favorite food. Like, bro, you gotta be very careful with what you say to people, because people will literally, bro, and I've seen it. People will use the information given to them and go tell somebody else and try to destroy you. Like, self-disclosure is the first step towards betrayal, because people can't hurt you, and they can't destroy you, they can't manipulate you if they don't know nothing about you. You ever notice, if you're in, like, school, or it could be a job, it could be anywhere, if there's a new person that walk in, everybody's gonna look at that person because nobody know who they are, nobody don't know nothing about them. And then it's human nature, when a person can't know anything about you, for some people it drives them insane because they want to know. Some people can't stand not knowing anything about them. And I've seen it because a lot of people call me a private guy, but I wouldn't say I'm a private guy. It's all depend on where you are in my life. Like, I'm not going to come and be like, "Oh, I make this much money this week." No, that's not you. if you know what I'm saying. But a lot of people may think, oh, he's a secretive guy and he's this and this. No. It's just like where you're at on my priority list. Like, I'm not going to come and say, oh, I make this last week, I make this week, I'm going to make this next week. No, that's not your business. So with that being said, is you have to be careful because, like, I think I made a whole video talk about betrayal, and it has some stuff to do with what I'm talking about now. People use the information you give them about yourself in order to destroy you. How a person is gonna know how to come at you if they don't know how to come at you? Like, it's human nature to analyze people and find the best moves possible in order to hit the nail on the head. So if they can't do it, that's because they don't know nothing about you. So with that being said, is, and I always said, even when I was younger, I used to say the less people know, the better it is for me. Like, literally, like, how can you be like me? Well, I'm talking about me. How can I be like, well, not say how can I be, I am. So I am the type of person where, and it's crazy, people that know me personally know this. It's like, it's like I'm there, but I'm also not there. It's like sitting down talking for 2-3 hours and then nothing is said about me. You don't know nothing about me. You don't. It's great, but like, bro, not even I do not know how I do it. It all depends on, I would say, where the person is mentally, and I would say it's like what area they choose, because I pick various topics when I talk to people. Like, I'm that type of person that I can fluctuate between ages and I can actually talk with them and understand them and whatnot. So with that being said, is it's like it's like it's crazy. Like, I don't even know how I do it. I'm literally trying to think about it. I was like, how do I talk to people and say nothing about myself? Like, it's crazy. But in reality, it's actually not crazy. This is why people can't, I wouldn't say can't take me down. I would say they don't know how to take me down. Because when you are a very productive people, you never know who is in the shadows watching you and wanting for you to fail. But once people don't know nothing about you, then it's like, what can they actually do in order to affect you? When people don't have access to you, they can't destroy anything that you're working on. If you never share your plans with people and share your future goals, how can they put up a barrier to block you in order for you to not move forward? You ever wonder why? Whenever you're trying to make a move and you're trying to do something productive and you're telling everybody that you're doing this, you ever wonder why? It's like you try to move forward, but you can't move forward, and you're sitting down beating yourself up and wondering why you can't move forward. It's people you tell your business. They're the ones that say they're in the way, and whatever opportunity they get to keep you down with them. That's why they're doing it, because not everybody wants you to be better than how they are. People want you to be better. But the problem comes in once you are better than they are. That's how it is, thin and thin. There's no going around it. That's how it is. It's not like, oh, do your best. It's like, do your best, but make sure you're not better than me. That's how everybody look at it. It's crazy because I'm the type of person where it's like I always put people on the same level as me until they prove me wrong. That's how I start off with everybody. Everybody that come across me, that's how I start off with them. And people who are less than me, I don't like I do not belittle them and make it sound like, oh, I'm better than you. It's like, that's not who I really am. But you got to be careful, because you may sit down and you may tell everybody that you're trying to do this. Bro, it's the ones that you're telling, they're the reason why you can't move forward. So if you didn't know by now you know. Like, if I'm going to walk across the street and I tell everybody that I'm going to walk across the street, you can actually stop me from walking across the street because you know full well I'm going to walk across the street. But if I never tell you, I can walk across the street freely. And then by the time on the other side, I can say, hey, I'm across the street. And then first thing you're going to say, how did you get there? That's life. That's just how it is. Like, it's better. Like, it's crazy how this world is right now. Because it's like people feel People will feel better for you once you have accomplished something, but when you're in the process, they have no faith in you. People will literally tell you, "Oh, you're wasting your time. Don't do this. Don't do that." You are wasting your time. Like, if you do not believe me, if you're in a stable mindset, or if you have a stable mindset and you want to accomplish something, like some people can like see it if it's like ahead. Some people can see what's happening now. They know what's happening now, but they're not a planner of like reaching couple steps ahead. So if you can actually see that, oh, if I do this and I do this and I do this to move in this direction, then I can actually accomplish this. Like we think different. Some people will sit down and say, well, I don't see nothing happening, so nothing ain't happening. And then you got people like me that sit down and be like, okay, if I make these 4 moves in this area, then I can actually get somewhere. You know what I mean? So if you keep telling people things about you and your dreams, your goal, bro, let me tell you something. And the older you get, you're gonna come to understand. Show your winnings, never your progress. Because once you show your progress, you never know who's out there jealous. How many times have you seen somebody like they're nobody, they're broke, they have nothing, and you're friends with everybody, but the moment you get serious, that's when people start get jealous of you. Like, it's funny how people can have, say, connections in the area that you're like in the area that you pick, but they will never help you because they don't want you to move forward. You see, when you tell people so much about you, you see how hard that can be later down the line. It doesn't really matter how much you're hurting or whatever the case may be. Oh, I just need to find the first stranger and tell them everything. Bro, this is why people talk to strangers more than friends. And this is why people will talk to friends more than their partners, because it's like who they can actually talk to and who they can understand. You can be in a relationship with somebody and something is happening and they will go talk to a friend, or they go talk to their family, or even a stranger, because they can't talk to you. Bro, listen, listen. Be careful of who you tell things about you. It could be good, it could be bad. You need to be extremely careful of whatever topic about yourself you pick. Like, you don't want to go tell somebody, oh, my whole childhood was like this. I went to this school. I got this job. I make this much money. I do this. Like, people, like, it's crazy how you can say things to people and you're trying to inspire them. But while you're trying to inspire them, they receive it as you showing off that and you thinking you're better than them. You know what I mean? So me, I can detect these things. This is why I know, like I said before, I know how to fluctuate talking with different people in different age and whatnot. So I know what topic to touch and what not to touch, because if they're not there mentally, then they can't understand it. And that's just how it is. Like, I can't change somebody. I can sit down and say, okay, let's talk about money. First thing they're gonna say, oh, what about money? What about it? What about it? Oh, how much money do you think you need in order to survive? Oh, I need only 10 grand, 20 grand. Bro, they're not there. And it's funny how people have different lifestyle and they have different needs, and bro, it's crazy. But if a person is not there mentally, sorry, you can't really disclose yourself to them. Bro, you have to be careful. If this is not your life partner, or like a family member, you have to be extremely careful with what you tell people, because what you tell people, that is what they know. They do not know nothing less, and they do not know nothing more. That's what they know. This is why they will try their very best in order to keep you down and make you miserable, because they use the information given to them by you. So most times people like to talk about themselves. And it's funny because me, I rarely talk about myself. And the reason why I rarely talk about myself, especially to certain type of people, is if I do, I will sound overrated. So I try not to talk about myself. You know what I mean? I rather let somebody else talk about themselves. more than me, because if I talk about myself, people like they receive it different. So with that being said, is bro, you have to be extremely careful with what you say. And this is not about say it's about the bad stuff or the good stuff. It's like in general. Because you never know who is happy for you when you got some good news, because not everybody's genuinely happy for you. And if you got some bad news, not everybody's gonna stay with you. How many times have you seen people back against the wall and everybody disappear? Or somebody's on top and things are happening for them, they have a lot of friends, and then again something happened, boom, everybody's gone. That's how it is. People only care about themselves and people only look out for themselves, and nobody want to get hurt. People rather hurt you before they get hurt by you. This is how it is. So how do you protect yourself from things like this? Is by being carefully with what you say about yourself to certain type of people, because you never know who is out there to get you. And like I say, a friend today can be a worse enemy tomorrow, especially if this person have all these information on you. People can't take you down if they don't know nothing about you. They can try, but they can't really get to you if you didn't create an opportunity for them to take it. It's funny because a lot of people, oh, I don't know, people like I'm hard to read. I know I'm hard to read. So, and it's like I'm hard to read, plus they don't know lots about me. And it's like they can't really wrap their finger around it. So it's like, how can you actually get to somebody like me if you do not know anything about me? Like, what most people know is what everybody know. Oh, Ty's making money. He's a content creator. He's doing that. Like, they know what everybody else know, and they only know it when it's too late. Once it's done. See, for an example, this video I'm making right now, it's not live. So I make it, I edit it, and I will post it. Will I post it today? Absolutely not. Will I post it tomorrow? Absolutely not. So by the time they see it, it's new to them, but it's old to me. So how can you actually get to a person that you can't really know, like you can't keep tabs on them? Like what's the saying I always say? It's hard to hit a moving target. Can you hit a moving target? Absolutely not. So how can you destroy a person if you don't know nothing about them? A lot of times people put themselves in situations and then they blame everybody else for the outcome. No, no, no. You need to blame yourself. You want to know why? You were the one that tell everybody what's going on about you. Sorry, and then somebody is angry with you, and then they think they can match you. So now this person is trying to destroy you. People can't destroy you with false information. People can't make you upset and make you cry and try to destroy you by informations that they made up. They can't. Like, people can only try to irritate you, but they can't actually irritate you if they don't know how to do so. See where I'm going? So you gotta be very careful, bro. I don't care if it's like good or bad about, like, everybody have good stories and everybody have bad stories. Everybody have good days and everybody have bad days. But all I'm trying to say is you need to be very careful with what you say to others about yourself. That's what self-disclosure is. Giving or sharing information about yourself to others. So if you're the type of person where you're having trust issues and you want to protect yourself, this is how you protect yourself. Is by picking different people to have conversations about. It's not every person you come across you need to tell them your whole life story. Not everybody. Because not everybody's going to understand, not everybody's going to care, and not everybody's willing to keep that information. You ever wonder how rumors start in school or start anywhere? That's because somebody said something about themselves, and then all of a sudden somebody go tell somebody else, now it's everywhere. The best way to protect yourself is by be careful with what you say. It's better people call you secretive instead of they're saying everybody know your business. It's better, trust me. Because when people look at me, like most people look at me the same way. It's like they look at me. It's like they look at me, and it's like they want to know stuff, but it's like it irritates them that they can't know, and they know I'm not stupid enough to say it. Bro, some people will even test you. They will even try to talk to you about stuff, hoping you will leak information about yourself. But I'm not that type of person. So the best way to protect yourself, be careful with what you say to people about yourself. Because like I said, you may entertain the enemy and you don't even know. And people can only destroy you by the information given to them by you about yourself. People can only destroy what you're working on only because you told them. People can try to destroy your progress because of what you told them. People can refuse to give you the opportunity you need because of what you told them, and they don't want you to be better than them. People can actually help you, but they won't because of what you told them. That's how it is. And like I said, it's better somebody call you secretive than they say your business is all over the place. Trust me. So I hope this message was useful for some of you guys. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned. I will be back doing more stuff. You're going to enjoy the rest of your day. I'm out. And don't forget to follow me on social media. I post daily on them.